That's live, and let's do this thing in 3, 2, 1. This is Life is Leet, episode 17 for May 17, 2014. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Life is Leet. This is a podcast of nerds yelling at microphones about things. I am Jesse Hanna, and joining me today, as always, is my younger brother and my co-host, Aaron. How you doing today, Aaron?
I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome. So yeah, we're recording a little bit earlier than usual today because you're busy this afternoon. I've got to get the house cleaned now that I'm out of school and actually have time to get the house cleaned. So we're recording this a little early. We do have one person in the chat room. Shout out to Ironic Name hanging out in the chat room. If you've been around the Tadpool, around the Frog Pants community at all, you'll know and probably fear that name. So shout out to him, even though he's in Australia and it's 5 a.m. where he is right now, apparently. Anyway, thanks for joining us. And if you want to check out the live stream, we stream live on Saturday afternoons. Follow our Facebook or Twitter pages for announcements on when we're about to get started. Or bookmark and go to lifeisleet.com/live, and that's where that'll be happening. And there's the chat room there. There's the video stream. So go check that out if you wanna watch us while we record this thing. Anyway, let's go ahead and get right into it with what we always start off with that easy for me to say, what we always start off with, which is games. Alright, like I said last week, now that I'm out of school, I actually have time to play games again, so I've been playing all the things. This week I finished Act 5 of Diablo 3. So I've unlocked and am into adventure mode with my demon hunter, who's level 50-something now. So still not quite up to the level cap, but finished Act 5. Did most of it on hard, but for beating Malthael, I had to scale it back to normal because, holy crap,
he's pretty challenging.
Holy crap, that fight is hard.
Yeah.
But I've finished that, and adventure mode is awesome. I've actually turned that up to expert now, and it's just destroy all the things.
Everything.
On my demon hunter, one of the abilities that what was it? One of the abilities I have is the dang it, why can I not remember its name? Hang on, I tweeted it. Let me look this up real quick here. Great radio, I know. Here we go. Okay, so on my Demon Hunter, I have the Reign of Vengeance ability, and I equipped it with the Stampede glyph. And with that, you just click one button, or in my case, click one button on my mouse, and I just stand there and watch all the things die. It's pretty amazing. It almost turns it into a passive experience, but that doesn't make it any less fun. It's just you click a button, and a whole mob of dudes just dies. It's amazing. I love it. I'm still loving that class, but once I get him up to the level cap, I am probably going to start working on probably my monk, probably start up a crusader. I've been hearing really good things about the witch doctor. I've been hearing that it's horribly overpowered and that it's amazing. So I'm probably going to try that out as well. But yeah, having a lot of fun getting back into that. I've also started working on Bravely Default again. I'm working my way through Chapter 5. And also this past week, I found and picked up online the original soundtrack. The actual Japanese release of the full Bravely Default soundtrack. It's 2 CDs. It's about 2.5 hours of pure awesomeness.
Compliments of Linked Horizon.
Yes, composed by Revo, who is also the main person of Linked Horizon, who, as we've said before, did the Attack on Titan opening themes. But yeah, it's great music, and the CD holder, you can kind of see it over my shoulder here. If you're watching the video, it folds out into a really cool looking diorama kind of thing. So I've been listening to that almost nonstop since I got it the other day. I found it from a seller on Amazon.
And then he shared it with me, and I now have it on iTunes, which is funny because all of the names are in Japanese characters.
Well, yes, but it's still awesome music. If you're able to get your hands on it, definitely check that out. And I hope they at some point release it over here in the States, because that would be awesome. And it is one of my favorite video game soundtracks, period. Not just of recently released games, and it's up there for me with like World of Warcraft and Halo as far as the quality of the soundtrack. It's really freaking good. I've also been playing Steins Gate, which is a visual novel that was just recently released over here in the United States in English. I can't really say a whole lot about it because I've just started it. The premise of it, though, basically is that a college guy who fancies himself a mad scientist accidentally invents a device that lets you send text messages into the past. And all kinds of drama and stuff happens around that. Again, I can't really say a whole lot about it right now because I haven't played a whole lot, but it's good so far. And I like the choice mechanic, which is mostly that you get and can choose whether or not to read right away when you're in the middle of a conversation with someone, and that you can choose how you want to reply to text messages or emails that you get on the character's phone in the game. So that's pretty neat. I'm having fun with that. That's definitely something that you might want to check out if you're a fan of sci-fi, fan of drama, horror, mystery, I guess, and a fan of visual novels. It's Steins Gate's definitely worth checking out. And then, of course, I've also been playing Mario Golf World Tour and Mario Kart 7. Those are a lot of fun to play just in the evening when I'm in bed, about to go to sleep, and just want to play something to unwind. Oh, and last week we talked about how there is going to be a Mario Kart 8 Wii U bundle. I've also pre-ordered that, so I am going to be getting that and Mario Kart 8. Those come out on the 30th, so right at the end of the month.
Yeah, I'll be getting Mario Kart 8 at the beginning of June because I don't have enough money right now.
Well, yeah. Anyway, so that's what I've been playing. Have you had much time lately to play things, Aaron?
This was my last full week of school, and I've just been swamped with crap to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't had much time to play or watch anything.
Yeah, because you've had exams probably. You've probably had...
my exams are coming up right now.
Oh, okay. Well, studying for them anyway.
Yeah.
And probably college stuff, and you've had concerts and all kinds of junk going on.
Yep.
So yeah, I remember how that goes. Well, for high school definitely, and then obviously much more recently for finally finishing up college. Yeah. So that it's crazy, but nothing really you can do about that.
Once school lets out, though, I'll probably have plenty of time.
Yeah. Yeah, you will. It'll be nice to be able to do stuff again.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, let's move on to the news. Couple things came out of Microsoft this week. One of which we had kind of known was coming, and another of which was kind of a surprise. Let's start with the surprise one first. Microsoft announced that starting next month in June, you will be able to buy a version of the Xbox One that does not come with the Kinect device, and you'll be able to buy it for $399, and that's $100 less than the bundle that includes the Kinect. And they also announced that Xbox Live Gold will no longer be required for video streaming services like Amazon Prime Video or MLB TV or ESPN or Crunchyroll or Hulu or Netflix or any of that. You do still have to have Xbox Live Gold to watch those streaming services on your Xbox, but starting next month you will no longer have to have that. So those two things are kind of a surprise and kind of a backpedal, another backpedal for Microsoft.
Isn't $3.99 the same price as the PS4
Yes,
is right now?
that is also the same price as, I believe it's the same price as the PS4. And the PS4 obviously never came with anything like the Kinect. So basically, they took off the price of the Kinect and are just bundling, selling a version of the Xbox that doesn't come with it bundled. They
I'd say
will.
that's a pretty smart move by Microsoft
Oh yeah,
because
definitely.
no one likes Kinect. Let's be honest.
It's always been much better in concept than it really has been in execution.
In theory, it's good. In actual practice, not so much.
Yeah, people who I've heard talk about it, like Tom Merritt was talking about this the other day on the Daily Tech News show, and he said that for him the voice control has been okay, but not the greatest, but that the facial recognition sign in has never worked when he's wanted it to, and always worked when he didn't want it to. It's been weird, it's been janky, and it's a good move by them to finally make it optional. I think you were able to turn it off
Yeah,
before, but
for a while, Microsoft was making it so that you had to use Kinect with the
right.
Xbox. But then, after a lot of negative press about it, they decided to remove the Kinect requirement.
Yeah, they
But they
made it.
still kept it with the
Yeah,
Xbox.
they made it so that you could use it without having the Kinect turn on, but now but you still had to buy it with the Kinect, and now they're making that optional as well. That's probably still not going to get me to buy an Xbox One just yet, but I'll tell you what will get me to buy an Xbox One is the bits of Halo news that were announced this week as well. We'd already been teased that a Halo game was coming to the Xbox One. That was teased at E3 last year. And in a blog post this past week, the general manager of 343 Industries, Bonnie Ross, announced in a blog post called The Halo Journey that the video game Halo 5 Guardians will be coming to the Xbox One next year, so in 2015. And we really don't have very much more info than that. We do know that more information will be coming at the Xbox media briefing at E3 2014. That is on June 9th, so coming up in a couple of weeks from now. And they've also said that it will be a bigger effort than Halo 4 was. We don't know what they mean by that. That's really all that they've said about it. We'll have a link to the blog post in the show notes. But I'm in. I'm a Halo fan. This will probably be why I get an Xbox One. So it'll still be a while, and the price of it will probably have come down a bit more by then, well, hopefully. But I got an Xbox 360 to get Halo games, so I'll probably get an Xbox One for the same reason.
Yep.
And in the same blog post, it was also mentioned that the currently in production TV series of Halo will be coming in fall 2015, and that's a collaboration with Steven Spielberg.
It
And
seems to be a common thing, isn't it? Games getting like TV or web episode series
well, for Halo,
associated with them.
Halo getting a movie or TV adaptation of some kind has been a long running thing. For ages, there was a Halo movie that just languished in development hell for years. And we got a couple of really short teasers that were directed by Neil Blomkamp, who is the director of District 9, if you've seen that. And those were really good, but the film just languished and never got the funding or the backing that it really needed to move forward. So it kind of died off. And then we got the Forward Unto Dawn web series, which was actually really good. And you can watch that. I believe you can watch that on Netflix. But that finally got made and released online, and that's an excellent series. I definitely recommend checking that out, watching that. It's Halo Forward Unto Dawn.
I thought that one was all right.
Yeah, and then there's this, which is going to be, I think it's going to be an actual like network or cable television series, and obviously Steven Spielberg's name is attached to it, and he does pretty good work on pretty much everything that he is involved with. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. That's going to be really cool to see. That wasn't all the Halo news that we got, though, because it was also announced, or at least it's been rumored. Well, we have a post on Engadget that has sources reporting that a collection of the first four of the four numbered Halo games in the main series will be remastered in HD and released on the Xbox One as Halo 5 Guardians. Hang on a sec. There's something not right with the audio. Testing. Yeah, the recording stopped getting the audio at some point. Hang on. Okay, yeah. Hang on a sec, everyone, if you're watching the live stream. Minor technical difficulties. We'll get this started back up in just a sec. All right, testing. Okay, seems like we're back. Okay, start the recording up again. And we're back. If you're listening to this on the podcast, you'll have no idea what just happened, but we had some minor technical difficulties. The audio dropped out on the recording, so we.
When did that happen?
Not very long ago. Just a very short while ago, like maybe 30 seconds. But anyway, no big deal. Anyway, as I was saying, we don't really have any confirmation of this from Microsoft. But Engadget is reporting from sources that they're... Okay, hang on, let me start over. So Engadget has an article that has sources of theirs saying that sometime this year, the four Halo games in the main series are going to be remastered in HD and released on the Xbox One as something called Halo: The Master Chief Collection. Again, this isn't confirmed by Microsoft or anything. This is just Engadget's sources, but that's supposedly coming out this year. It'll be Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, 3, and 4. So that will exclude, of course, Halo 3 ODST and Halo Reach. And it's also possibly being developed by Saber Interactive, which is the team that did the Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition for the Xbox 360. So again, no confirmation of that, just a rumor at this point.
Seems like it would happen, though.
Oh yeah,
Halo is probably Microsoft's biggest franchise, so it makes sense.
Yeah, it probably is their biggest franchise, and that's definitely something that they could do to maybe try to drive Xbox One sales a little bit more, get people like me to have a reason to pick up an Xbox One. Although I've already got all of the Halo games that have been released so far for the 360, so that by itself probably wouldn't. But Halo 5 is definitely something that I would probably pick up an Xbox One to play, and if I were to do that, then I probably would, just to have them and to play them, the re-release of the original 4 games.
Still need to finish Halos 1 through 4. I have them sitting on my shelf, just waiting to be played, but I have not touched my 360 in ages.
Yeah, they're all really good games. I've been wanting to go back and replay them sometime soon, so we'll get together and we'll do that, and maybe we can figure out how to stream it.
We should.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That'd be a great idea.
Yeah, so let's do that sometime. So anyway, that's it for Microsoft news. That's actually the bulk of the video game news. Just a couple more smaller items. One is that the Pokemon Black 2, White 2 Super Music Collection is now out on iTunes. That, I believe, is the last one that they're going to be releasing. I don't think there are any more that they've had lined up. I don't know if they'll be doing the same thing for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire when those come out. But all of the Super Music collections for all of the games from Generation 3 onward now have been posted on iTunes. This one is actually the longest one so far. It's 173 tracks and it's 4 hours and 22 minutes of music.
That's pretty lengthy.
It's a lot. And
That's
it's the same price as the others too. It's $9.99. So if you've been collecting those like I have, that's one more to add to your collection.
I would buy it, but if I did buy it, it'd leave me $5 short for Mario Kart 8. So
Yeah, well,
also as a note, 49 of the tracks are also tracks that are available only in Pokemon Emerald and Pokemon Platinum. So
okay. So that kind of explains the extra length. That kind of explains why it's so much longer. That's where they put those tracks that are in Emerald and Platinum.
So that's where they went.
So that's where they put those. And closing out the video game news for this week, we've got a few commercials for the upcoming Mario Kart 8, which I mentioned earlier. I pre-ordered the Wii U bundle. So they're TV commercials now. These were posted on YouTube as well. If you're watching the video, you can see a little bit of one of them. And they're previews of the different items that you will be able to get and have been introduced to, or are being introduced in. I can't words today. I don't know what's up with that.
What
words,
is English?
Words are hard. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, there's one commercial that previews the Super Horn, another that is the Boomerang Flower, and another one that shows the Upside Down Racing feature. So we will have links to all of these in the show notes. We're just showing you a real quick preview of them here in the video. So yeah, go check those out. And I really hadn't been paying enough attention to Mario Kart 8, but it looks really awesome. After our show last week, I went online and did a lot more reading up about it, looking at videos on the official website, looking at all the information that's come out about it so far, and that's what convinced me to pre-order the Wii U bundle. So I'm definitely going to be getting that. I'm really looking forward to that now. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. That is going to cover it, I think, for video game news. So let's go ahead and move on now to anime. I haven't started watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but that's probably where I'll capture the next bumper for the anime segment from what you've told me. So I'll work on that this week. So anyway, I've still been watching pretty much the normal stuff, really. Nisekoi, One Week Friends, Tonari no Seki-kun, and Bleach. I started back on Bleach, still working on the Bount arc.
I haven't seen Bleach in a while.
Yeah.
I remember I was like in the 90s in terms of episodes.
Yeah, I'm on like 105, something like that now. Towards the end of the semester, I just really didn't have the time to watch anything other than the usual currently airing shows that I've been following. But now that school's over, I'm getting back into Bleach again. Seems like it's pretty much the same deal with you. Just watching the currently streaming shows.
Yeah, just JoJo's. I haven't had time for anything else.
Yeah. Well, that's fine because there's gonna be plenty for us to watch coming up pretty soon. There's one huge announcement this week, and if you've been following the anime and anime licensing scene for the last several years, you'll know how big a deal this is. Viz has licensed Sailor Moon for North American distribution. The entire thing, all 200 classic episodes and Sailor Moon Crystal, they're going to be releasing them here, uncut, unedited, no more missing episodes, no Americanization, no garbage like that, just the original, the original thing in its entirety. That's going to include Sailor Stars, which was never released over here in English with the original dub and original Americanization of the series. It's going to be remastered based on the 2009 Japanese DVD re-release. It includes the feature films. It's going to have the original Japanese opening and ending themes, the music from the original series. They're not doing anything to it. They're just resubtitling and re-releasing it, and they're going to be doing an all-new English dub for it. So they're going all out, and it sounds like they're really determined to do this thing properly. They apparently, according to their Twitter account, Viz found out that they had won this during their panel at Anime Central just yesterday, the 16th. And they announced it on Twitter and on their website and on YouTube afterwards. And we will have, let me bring it up here, we'll show a little bit of the announcement trailer here in the video. Apparently they were in competition with a few other distributors for the license, and Toei Animation, who is the original studio that produced the original animation, awarded it to Viz. So it's been something like 10 years since you've been able to buy Sailor Moon over here in the United States. So Viz getting this license and finally being able to put this back out again is a pretty big freaking deal. The original series, the classic episodes, are going to start streaming on Viz's Neon Alley streaming site and on Hulu starting this coming Monday the 19th. They're going to put up the first 4 episodes then, and then they're going to add 2 new episodes every Monday. So that starts this coming Monday. Later in 2014, they are going to announce the cast and more details, like a release date for the dub. That announcement actually is going to happen at their panel at Anime Expo on July 5th, which is also the day on which Sailor Moon Crystal will premiere. And then later this year will be DVD and Blu-ray DVD combo releases in half-season blocks. That is going to come later in 2014. Again, we don't have a release date for that yet, but we are going to be getting more information on that coming up with Anime Expo in July. You can watch, we'll have a link to where you can watch the announcement trailer, which does have a very brief preview of the new English voice actress for Usagi. I'm 100% in on this. This is going to be awesome. It's amazing that they got the entire thing. They're not going to do anything to it. It's going to be amazing. And I'll finally be able to get some sort of legal version of these instead of the questionably acquired version that I've had on my computer for years. So that's kind of a big deal.
Sounds like
this is happening.
Pulling out all the stops on this.
Oh yeah, they know that this will basically be a license to print money if they do it right. They know
prints money.
It can be argued that the terrible job that the original company that licensed and tried to Americanize Sailor Moon originally, it can be argued that that's what killed off that distributor, because they're not around anymore, at least not in any sort of prominence. But Viz knows that if they take this and they do it right,
they will make money.
They will make so much money off of it that they it'll basically be a license to print money if they get it right. So I'm stoked for it. Our mom, who is a huge Sailor Moon fan, she's stoked for it. It's gonna be spectacular. And I may have signed up for Hulu Plus just to be able to watch the episodes on my actual TV. That may or may not have happened. I can neither confirm nor deny. So yeah,
no comment.
That's kind of a big deal. There are a couple of more tiny bits of news. Attack on Titan on Cartoon Network has been getting a lot of viewers. The debut had 1.34 million viewers. Last week's episode had 1.47 million. Those are pretty big numbers, so that's doing well. As far as movie stuff goes, we have a release date, or a tentative release date anyway, for the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them Harry Potter World spin-off movie, or the first movie in that, what they're planning on having be a franchise. That's supposed to come out on November 18, 2016. So still quite a ways away. But at least we've got a tentative date for that now. And again, that's going to be set 70 years before the start of the Harry Potter book series. So sometime in the 1920s and in New York. So I'm looking forward to that. But this week it is kind of all about Sailor Moon, because that's more than kind of a big deal. That's a pretty big
That's a pretty big thing.
It is. And again, because of how long Sailor Moon went without any sort of licensing agreement here in the United States, it seemed like it would never be licensed again, really, is what it was starting to feel like. But Viz, they've done a really good job with all the properties that they've taken on lately. They've done a really good job with Shonen Jump, with manga. They've done really well with anime. So obviously Toei feels like that they can be trusted to do a really good job with this, and they're taking it seriously, because they know that if they do, they're set, basically.
This usually does a pretty good job.
Oh yeah, so I think they'll do a really good job with this, and I am so freaking excited to see how this goes. So that's it for anime for this week. Can it be Monday already? Because I want to watch this. It's gonna be awesome. But anyway, let's go ahead and get things closed out with
one more thing.
And this is something that we will have a link to in the show notes. But something that is going to be coming to Japan in August is a phone case, a case for your iPhone that is a replica or a model of the Attack on Titan maneuver gear blade handle. So it's something that you kind of have to see to really get what's going on with it, but it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, this looks pretty cool.
I may want to try to figure out how to get my hands on one of these. See if I can figure out how to import one somehow, because they look pretty awesome. So and obviously there's no blade, but it's just kind of the grip and the handle and the trigger sort of deal. And it looks really cool. It's got ports at the bottom for you to still be able to connect the cable or your headphones to it. And obviously you can't attach an actual blade to it.
Yeah, they have an actual image.
Yeah.
Saying, no, don't do this.
Yeah.
This is a terrible idea.
I may try to figure out how to import one of those, because that looks pretty cool.
I'm not much of an Apple guy, but if I were to get an iPhone 5 or 5S, because that's what this case is for, then I would definitely get this for it.
Yeah,
looks pretty neat.
That is pretty cool. Anyway, that's pretty much going to do it for this week's episode. If you want to find our show notes, wherein we will have links to everything that we talked about this week, if you want to download the MP3 of the show, if you want links to our Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus pages, links to subscribe to us via RSS or on iTunes, you can find all of that at our website, which is lifeisleet.com. That's LIFEISLEET.com. If you want to follow us on Facebook or Twitter, we're at facebook.com/lifeisleet, and we're on Twitter at @lifeisleet, and we're on Google Plus at google.com/+lifeisleetpodcast. We live stream our episodes every Saturday afternoon, so keep an eye on our social media for when you can join us live for that. And shout out again to Ironic Name for hanging out with us in the chat room today. if you want to suggest anything to us, comments, feedback, suggestions, audio attachments, you can send that to us at podcast@lifeisleet.com. My name's Jesse. I write this thing, so blame me if anything it is wrong. All the stuff that I do is at jbhanna.net or at @jbhanna on Twitter. Aaron streams things every once in a while at twitch.tv/Plato0. And whenever either of us gets online to stream something, we'll announce it on our Facebook and Twitter pages. I believe that's going to do it for this week. You got anything else that you wanted to add to that?
Nope.
All right, well, so that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks again for those who've been hanging out and watching live with the chat room. Thanks to everyone for downloading this. We will be back at the same time next week. So until then, everyone within the sound of my voice, thank you again and take care. And stop the YouTube. There we go.